Let's learn how to navigate stress easily and have it more holistic and more tuned into your authentic self. This is simply some guidance. This is lifestyle guidance. It's really good to go through this work very delicately and give you some self-compassion. And so forgiveness, whether it's yourself or something you regret or something you did from many years ago, that can stir up a lot of emotions. This is where we hold on to our weight. This is where rashes show up on our skin, right? This is what keeps us up at night, or sometimes we wake up with anxiety. So that's why I'd like to help you with this, because these are things that you can avoid.
Hi, I'm Christine, the nervous system regulator. I help you reset and regulate your nervous system brain so you can heal from the inside out.
Have you tried a shorter eating window? Like maybe you did it for 8 hours, maybe you did it for 10 hours. There's so many different types of shorter fueling windows, and I want to dive into the particulars of this and why it's so beneficial. This is a little different than intermittent fasting. We do intermittent fasting in my reset group. We hold onto our weight because our body is in survival mode. It's going to hold onto it to dear life until you learn how to release the inflammation. And it's easy to release inflammation through the shorter eating window. People either have really, really good success with this or sometimes not at all. And the reason is of that bio-individuality piece. So sometimes with my clients, like we'll have the frameworks of intermittent fasting, but then I'm going through and we're talking one by one to tweak it because not everybody's built the same. And even maybe in your 20s and 30s, you heard about like eating teeny tiny small meals all throughout the day. How many people have done that in the past? Eaten 6 meals throughout the day, like meals plus snacks. That's why I termed it shorter fueling window, not intermittent fasting. We're not reducing calories. We're not adding calories. You're not even changing the way you eat unless you want to. First step is just getting that window there. I highly suggest you meet yourself where you're at today. For example, right now, if you eat in a 12 or 14-hour window, and maybe you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, try scooting your breakfast up 30 minutes, then scooting your lunch up and scooting your dinner back. So you slowly work into maybe a 12-hour window, a 10-hour window. Maybe you get to the 8-hour window, maybe you don't. But the point is you're doing this slowly, you're titrating very slowly so your body doesn't get in shock. So the smaller we do these titrations with any of this work, mentally, emotionally, physically, it helps the body adjust quicker and it helps with sustainable growth. This is what we're looking at, focusing on whole foods, anti-inflammatory diets. Anyone's on here that has a lot of nutrition knowledge or is very much of a health expert, and I'd like you to look at this through a beginner's mindset, which means curiosity and openness, because you may pick up a couple of different pearls along the way that you haven't tried yet. This is before we layer on bio-individuality. So as a general rule of thumb, 20 to 30% of that meal would be protein, whether it's plant-based protein or animal protein. We can get into all the pros and cons of both, and I'm not advocating either. I want you to choose because you know your body best. If it's animal protein, then definitely have 70 to 80% of your plate, lots and lots of vegetables, all different types of vegetables coming from plants also, and fruits. Just think of the colors of the rainbow. Every time you look at your plate, I'd like you to think of all the colors of the rainbow, even the purple. How many people understand about sourcing, understand that it's really important to find good sources of our protein? We're not trying to get you to spend a lot of money. If you have the regular factory farmed or farmed animal proteins or fish, and the animal, they're not able to actively graze throughout the pasture and they're confined, well, this animal is in a stressed out state. It's in a fear-based state. And it also is probably eating crappy food. All of this can cause a lot of inflammation in your body. So what that animal eats and how that animal lives, believe it or not, does matter. We might not have thought of this, but this is looking through a holistic lens. Look at everything. Look at all 5 layers of the body. Also, when you consume that type of factory farm protein, that energetic impact is going to be transferred into your body as well. So that's really out there holistic for some people, and that's okay. High energetics and low energetics, everything is connected. You might want to write down these words: grass-fed, wild-caught, pasture-raised, and then grass-finished. Free-range, cage free. It's okay if you don't have all these memorized. The animals are being treated with kindness. You want to focus on eating a whole food diet and mostly plant strong. But then we bio-individualize it for each person. One of our resetters had lifelong blood sugar imbalance. She was an athlete and she always stayed really lean and she was able to do amazing. But then those 40s and 50s kind of kicked in and everything got out of whack, the hormones and such. We had to be really careful with the shorter fueling window to make sure that our blood sugar was in fact balanced. If you choose to do this experiment, always check in with your body. So make sure if you feel a little off balance, if you feel a little dizzy, obviously these are things to consider and maybe you move too quickly. In terms of the shorter fueling window, a lot of us space our meals out, breakfast, lunch, and dinner from say 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So meeting yourself where you're at, you might eat your breakfast 30 minutes later. You might shift your meals 30 minutes to an hour later, either up or down, so you can get it in that 8-hour window.
If you want to be more connected, you can join our private community, Chronic Stress Anonymous, for the high performer and recovering perfectionist. See the link below. Remember, you are pure love. Embrace it.